Hi guys, here's a quick analysis video on gold. So if you remember from my previous video, I spoke about the importance of the 1808 level where I thought gold might bounce from when it was heading lower. Lo and behold, it's done precisely that and it's gone higher because this level was previously resistance. As you can see on this weekly time frame, we broke above that area at the back end of last year. Price came back down to retest it this time from above, and it held as support, right? And as we zoom in on the daily time frame, obviously the move has been supported by the big drop we saw in bond yields across the world, especially in the US because of the concerns about the banking crisis there after SVB failed. But anyway, yields broke down, and that caused everything to soar higher from Bitcoin to gold, silver, and the move is stalled at the start of the week around where it should have, right around this 1910 area, which was the base of the breakdown, as you can see in this chart here, and this candle right here from the start of the month, right? So it all makes sense, technical sense anyway. But I don't think that the move up is done yet. Okay, so what we have here is, we broke Tuesday's low earlier this morning, and this was an inside bar formation on Tuesday, wasn't it? So the range of the day was contained within the previous day's range. People who had gone long gold in the previous several days may well have pushed up their stops to just below Tuesday's low, and today we've broken below that, so that liquidity has been neutralized, and equally people who have sold gold at around 1910 area or 1915, they will have placed their stops above Tuesday's high now, so that pool of liquidity is still to be taken, and I think that's precisely where gold might be heading to next. So I reckon it's going to do something like this. It's just a case of finding the nearest support now, and here is a key support in my view, because if you see from here, that was at the high that was raided on this day on 9th of Feb before that reversal happened, big bearish engulfing candle that then led to the sharp decline for several days that followed. So that was the level where the bulls got trapped. Now we've broken back above that level, haven't we? So we could see a bounce back from that level, or we may see gold come back a little bit lower and test the base of the breakout around 1870. But ideally, you don't want to see that much of a pullback now. If the trend is really strong, what you want to see is shallow pullbacks, right? Shallow pullbacks, consolidation, and then a fresh breakout. So ideally, what I would like to see is for 1886 support to hold today. It's obviously possible that the price could deviate a little bit below it, but on a daily closing basis, what I want to see is for price to go back above Tuesday's low at 1895. So around current levels, I'd like to see the buyers step back in to drive the market higher. If that happens, so if we go back above Tuesday's low, then in all likelihood we are going to take out liquidity resting above Tuesday's high at 1915ish, which is where I think gold might be heading to next. And then thereafter, the next objective could be this. Let's just call that the extended objective at 1959. So there'll be liquidity resting above that level, so it could head to 1960, 1980, or even 2000 at some point down the line. I don't want to see gold go back below Monday's low at 1866 now, because if it were to do that, it's going to put the bulls in a spot of bother, and it would indicate that the breakout we saw at the start of the week has failed, right? So 1866 is the line in the sand for me in the short-term outlook, but if that level breaks, then we could see price of gold go all the way down to, I don't know, probably this level here, 1835, which was support and resistance. but it could potentially go even lower than that. So for me, the line in the sand in the short term is 1866. Longer term is 1808, right? 1808 is my longer term line in the sand. If it goes below that on the daily closing basis, the long term bullish trend would end. But that's not my base case scenario. My base case scenario is that gold, as I mentioned, is likely to head higher and to a new high on the week in the not too distant future, possibly as early as later on today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and how I analyze the markets to look for trade ideas, then make sure to join my private group, details of which can be found on my website at tradingcandles.com.